In 2018, St. Lucie County voters approved a half-cent sales tax to fund better roads, more sidewalks, and cleaner rivers. We're almost halfway through that 10-year project, so let's get an update next on Inside St. Lucie. Hello and welcome to this edition of Inside St. Lucie, SLC TV's monthly government affairs show. I'm your host, Eric Gill, Communications Director for St. Lucie County. And on today's show, we're going to talk about public works and specifically focusing on the half-cent sales tax initiative that started in 2018 with my guest, St. Lucie County Commissioner and Vice Chair Chris Sadowski and St. Lucie County's Public Works Director Patrick Diane. But before we meet our guest, here's some upcoming events and announcements from the Board of County Commissioners.
St. Lucie County's aquatic staff will host a Monster Splash event on Saturday, October 19th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Ravenswood Pool. This free event will feature dancing to Halloween music, playing games, swimming, and howling at the moon. While this event is not a costume party, the spirit of Halloween will be alive or dead. This is an all-ages event with free admission. Fairwinds Golf Course will host a Tea and Treat event on Saturday, October 26th, starting at 7 p.m. This free event features a 6-hole glow-in-the-dark event on the Wii Links course, as well as other games, including some for non-golfers. Designed for ages 15 and younger, this event is free. However, participants are encouraged to register in advance before Monday, October 21st by visiting fairwindsgolfcourse.com and visiting the Junior Golf Activities section. Golfers are encouraged to come in costume. A parent or guardian must be present during the event. The Indian River Lagoon Science Festival returns for its 9th year on Saturday, October 26th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Veterans Memorial Park in downtown Fort Pierce. This free day of discovery promises to be a blast for the whole family, with dozens of hands-on and mindful activities exploring the wonders of science, technology, engineering, art, and math, with dozens of different vendors, including several St. Lucie County departments. For details or to sign up as a presenter, visit irlsciencefest.org.
Now for the latest updates about all St. Lucie County Commission meetings, workshops, and events, be sure to visit our website at stlucieco.gov and click on our comprehensive calendar. And if you'd like to be added to our press release distribution list, you can send us an email at pio@stlucieco.org and we'll be happy to include you. We're also on all the social media channels at St. Lucie GOV, so we hope you'll follow us there. We're going to take a quick break. Before we do, we're going to check in with the latest economic development stats.
St. Lucie County's tourism revenue increased by 69.5% in July compared to the same time frame a year ago. Year-to-date collections are 9.8% lower than the last fiscal year. Overall building activity in unincorporated St. Lucie County decreased by 22% in July, with 1,096 permits submitted compared to June's 1,408 permits. According to the Florida Realtors Association, the median home sale price in St. Lucie County was $393,900 in July, 1% higher than it was a year ago, while condo values increased by 2.5% with the median price at $297,908. St. Lucie County's unemployment rate decreased slightly in June to 3.7% compared to last month's 4.1%. Statewide, the unemployment rate was 3.3%. The largest increase in the labor force on the Treasure Coast was in professional business services, followed by education and health services, and then construction and trades. According to CareerSource, there were 174,500 jobs in our area in July, which is 5,900 more jobs than there were a year ago. If you work for a local business looking for skilled or trained labor, be sure to contact the staff at CareerSource, as they can assist your company with its recruitment and training needs. And if you're an individual looking for a job, they can help you as well. Visit CareerSource online at careersourcerc.com or call 1-866-4U-to-HIRE.
Welcome back to Inside St. Lucie. I'm your host, Eric Gill, Communications Director for St. Lucie County. I'm joined by St. Lucie County Commissioner Chris Sadowski, Vice Chair of the Board. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having
and Patrick Diane, our Public Works Director. Sorry, I feel like you're so far away in this new table. So I shake everybody's hands, but I don't want to reach. So I thought, Commissioner, you wanted us to talk a little bit about the half-cent sales tax and kind of give an update on infrastructure, because it's hard to believe we're more than halfway through that 10-year time frame when the voters approved that in 2018.
Yeah, and taking a little bit of history in here, in that we went through the recession, and there's so many people here that actually are here today that weren't here in 2008-9 when we saw the cliff of values. In 2008, we had values at $24 billion. The following year, it dropped to $11 billion. So when you lose $14 billion out of your budget or values,
Sure.
In our case, the first budget was around $54 million loss. And so we had to tighten our belts. We unfortunately had to relieve 350 people from their jobs.
Almost 40% of our staff.
Right, and then we took 21 departments and scaled it down to 9. So it was draconian moves to keep the doors open to be able to maintain basic services. But with that, we deferred so much maintenance, including our roads, our drainage areas, our culverts. We weren't building sidewalks. All of those things came into play. And during that period of time, it took about 8 years before we actually started seeing the values come back. So all that's very important. And the residents saw that coming. They saw what was happening. And we, in turn, local governments, the 2 cities, Fort Pierce and Port St. Lucie and St. Lucie County, got together and we talked about how do we increase our opportunity to get to these maintenance issues. So we had an education component process. We went out to the public and said, look, here's our opportunity. We could raise a half-cent sales tax, which basically is a user fee for products and so on. Here we have an opportunity to actually increase the revenue coming in and put them specifically on these projects. And the residents appreciated the opportunity to actually have a say-so in that, and understanding that 25% of those dollars coming in were being paid into by visitors that came here. So that's a good opportunity. The other side of that is we also had the revenue to be able to reach out and have match money for any grants with the state and federal government. And so it all has actually unfolded to be a really good thing.
Yeah, I remember when we were doing those outreach education opportunities, going to HOAs and civic groups, and I remember we were one on the Barrier Island, and they said, and the slogan was, better roads, more sidewalks, and cleaner rivers. And they said, but our road on A1A is a state road. We've got sidewalks. We don't need any of that. And I remember saying, okay, but if you have a medical emergency, you have to leave the island. You don't want to go up Indian River Drive and have a washout and then have to take a longer route on US 1 to get to the hospital. Some people may say that, well, that's scare tactics, but that's a reality. There's only 1 or 2 roads to get to the hospital.
Sure.
And, while the road in front of your neighborhood may be great, we all know that people travel throughout the county, both in city, county, and state roads. So
that's right.
I mean, Patrick, and you can attest to that because you guys get this all the time from Public Works. Hey, this intersection, the signal's not right. Well, it's the state. And, you're just passing the buck. Well, no, we really don't have the ability to change the signals on infrastructure that's not ours.
Right, and the infrastructure, I just want to double back to the point that Commissioner Zadowski brought up, and we've really been so proud of some really exciting accomplishments that we've made, some projects. I mean, we were able to resurface Prima Vista Boulevard. That was one of our key projects that we knew that we had to tackle coming out of that 2018 referendum, which the voters decided to pass. We knew how important that road was, not just to the unincorporated residents, but also to the city of Port St. Lucie. We resurfaced that roadway from US 1 all the way to Arosa Boulevard at a cost of about $1.5 million. In addition to that, we've done bridge projects. We've replaced the Gordy Road Bridge, which I know you know well. It's got that wonderful disc golf.
Exactly.
Just this Saturday.
Wooden bridge. It was like one of the last wooden bridges in the county.
Well, it was important to replace that bridge because it had been overtopped during high rain events when 10 Mile Creek staged up. A bridge doesn't serve much of a purpose if it's covered in water. So we rebuilt that bridge. We also rebuilt the Keene Road Bridge over Taylor Creek. We've done Edwards Road resurfacing, which was damaged during Hurricane Irma. We performed retrofits in neighborhoods such as Harmony Heights in the northern area and Paradise Park in your district. We've really done all of these because of the infrastructure sales tax. Without that, none of these projects could have been possible. And as the commissioner mentioned, grant funds from the years of 2010 to 2015, the county really wasn't applying for infrastructure grants because the reason is that a lot of times you need match money to pull down those federal or those state grants. Well, when there's no match money to go in, you're not even making an application. So that's opportunities lost that now have been rekindled based on this infrastructure surtax. So we're very, very happy about that.
Yeah, it's amazing how far we've come, and the cooperation between the cities and the county have been excellent. And we all sit on the Transportation Planning Organization when we actually talk about the different roads that need to be completed or widened and so on and so forth. And Patrick, you and I talked a little bit before we came in for the show, and a lot of folks today are wondering, why can't you talk together, the cities and the counties? But in essence, we do that every month. Transportation Planning Organization is seated with more individuals from Fort Pierce, St. Lucie County, and Port St. Lucie. And we all sit around the table, and we have a director, Peter Buchwald, and we actually talk about the projects. We put them in order of importance. Do you want to talk a little bit more about the importance of how that all works and how staff talk together and how we determine where money
the
goes?
Transportation Planning Organization, or TPO as we refer to it, is a very important and vital part of our long-range transportation planning in our region. It's actually a required federal agency for any area that's got a census large enough like ours is to become a metropolitan area. So that TPO is responsible for making sure that the state monies and the federal monies that are out there for transportation needs, and we're not just talking roads, we're talking transit, we're talking multimodal improvements, trails, the Sun Trail, which is an important part of some of the infrastructure that's going out here in St. Lucie County. All of that is cohesively looked at by a group of elected officials from both the cities and the county, and they make collective decisions on what the highest and best needs are. And they publish a 5-year look ahead. It's going to be redone right now, and it looks out 25 years. So the next iteration is going to look out to 2050. And imagine how much we've grown between now and looking back 25 years. Well, we can only forecast what's going to happen in the next 25 years. And looking at the current needs plan, we know there's a serious delta. There's a big gap there, even with the federal and state monies and the local dollars, primarily impact fees that are programmed towards these types of improvements. There's still a long way to go. But working together with the cities is really one way to make sure that the vocalization up to the state and federal agencies are done with locally vetted projects that are ranked by the locals.
And even on the, I know, and this is getting off infrastructure and public works, but even on development, I know the Planning and Development Services Department has development review committees, and there are different agencies that come in to talk about these projects, not just from our agency, but Patrick, probably folks from your staff too, when it comes to water quality and stormwater. And I've even seen some things on social media recently. Why are we considering the medical impacts? Because it's hard to get doctor's appointments, but that might be a little bit beyond government's reach, but we certainly do when there's any type of large-scale development projects. The planning department has folks in from cities of Fort Pierce, and maybe not the elected officials, but certainly at the staff level.
Yeah, the elected officials would be in the way, quite honestly. We have professionals with licenses and engineering degrees and so on and so forth, and those are the folks that have to be sitting at a table to understand the impacts of what is needed.
Yeah.
As part of that too, we got to find the funding sources, right? And so the general fund or let's not use that term, the normal funding source is gas tax. Well, we all know that our vehicles are getting much better gas mileage today, and some don't even use gas, right? So there's no funding source coming from those electric vehicles, not yet anyway.
Yeah, right.
So as the efficiency of those vehicles comes in, the tax money coming in goes down. So we have to find other sources of opportunity to fund that. General fund money from taxes ends up being sometimes part of that process. We talked about the half-cent sales tax, and this is what we're talking about today. I said that it's another part of that conversation. But talk about development. It's not a secret that Port St. Lucie has grown in leaps and bounds, and it's probably one of the fastest-growing cities in the entire country. I think that they've recently gone from 7th
to 6th, I think, or at
to
least
6th.
6th. Yeah, I think they're
sixth
6th
now.
largest city, population-wise.
But that largely has come in the last 15 years. So you add 170,000 people to your roadways, and that's very difficult to keep up with. But with that development comes the obligation to have those developers start to pay for their impacts. And we in the county use a term called impact fees. And that's a fee charged. And I'll let you talk a little bit more about the intricacies of the impact fees and mobility fees and how that comes in. And also talk about how a county standard road used to be $1 million a mile. We're closer to 7 or 8 today.
That's correct. Yeah. So the commissioner's right. So impact fees are paid by new development, whether that's a commercial building, whether that's a rooftop for a home, or whether that's a large subdivision. You collect impact fees, and there's different categories. There's some for roads, some for libraries, some for public safety, there's some for schools, some for the fire district. So those respective impact fees, and I'll talk about roads, they are programmed to projects specifically that aid in capacity. So I can't use them to resurface a road. I can't hire an equipment operator with them. I can't go buy another dump truck. I have to use it to add a lane or do something that adds capacity. Those projects become very, very expensive. Now, impact fees, there's also some state legislation that's changed most recently, I think in 2021, which really puts some clamps on how much of those impact fees we can take in from the developers without requiring credits to be issued back whenever the roadways are expanded for public purposes. So we talk about the thing called concurrency. That means that as new facilities are necessary based on the development that's happening, they happen at the same time. Well, as that concurrency is met, you're now looking at crediting back those improvements back to that developer. So it's a very sticky situation, but for every single development that comes in, traffic reports are submitted, they're reviewed by professionals, both in-house and third-party consultants, and where they have the potential to impact neighboring agencies or the Department of Transportation on state roads, we definitely share those documents with them and receive comments, make sure that their comments are implemented and engaged in whatever development order is issued to that development.
And often challenged right now because we only look at the impact fees about every 4 to 5 years. And so we're lagging behind right now, simply because, when we set the impact fees 4 years ago, roads were X. Now they're XYZ because they're that much more expensive.
That's what I was going to ask you too, Patrick. In addition to the cost of everything's going up, whether it's corporate profits or inflation, whatever terminology you want to use, but things cost more today than they did a year ago and 10 years ago. But I'm sure the standards have changed over time, right? Like what to put in a sidewalk, you have to make accessibility accommodations. I mean, we're seeing that even on the websites now. Like with, we would do websites and not think about putting a PDF or not think twice about throwing a PDF or a static map, but we can't do that because what if somebody's blind and using a screen reader, and how's that going to interact? So probably the same thing with roads. I mean, hopefully blind people aren't driving on roads, but with autonomous cars, it won't be long. But I think just sidewalks and intersections, there's probably got to be ADA accessibility changes that have changed in recent years.
100%. Everything has to be done accessible. And going back to the point of reference that you made, so $1 million a mile used to be what it used to cost for rehabbing a road. $1 million a mile is what buys you sidewalk now. So that's how much it's changed. A roadway now is $8 million a mile to expand from 2 lanes to 4 lanes. And it's because of the necessary drainage infrastructure, the earthwork, all of the rehabilitation that you're doing. Obviously, we're not working in a blank slate. We're trying to accommodate existing motorists and existing pedestrians through all this. So anytime that you're rehabbing, instead of blank slate, it's much more expensive. And so we're seeing those costs spiral.
I know we saw that with Edwards with a lot of people, why is this taking so long? Well, we didn't know there was fiber utility lines down here when we broke ground, or
I was going to bring that up because we're an old county, but there are things that were buried underneath the roads that nobody knows about. Never was not put in a plan. So that's the hidden danger that we just don't know is going to be there.
Yeah. So for we're like I said, Patrick, we had a list when we went out to the voters and we said these are the projects we're about. How far along on that list are we? And then I know internally there have been discussions with us in the city PSL about putting that back out to the voters to say, hey, look, this is the work we've done. Would you want to consider renewing this for another 10 years? And this would be the list of projects. So
I'm so glad you asked that because again, we've accomplished a tremendous amount of work over the last 5 years. We had 34 projects that were completed based on the last annual report. In all told, we probably resurfaced about 40 road segments. We replaced bridges. We've gone in and we talked about retrofitting. We've gone in and done stormwater retrofits in neighborhoods that were constructed in the 60s and 70s before any kind of stormwater regulation was in place. These neighborhoods, when it rained, you talk grease, oil, pesticides, fertilizer, all of that flushed directly out into the canals that go into the Indian River Lagoon and the St. Lucie estuary. With this sales tax money, we've been able to not only put $60 million of investments towards creating stormwater facilities in these older neighborhoods, repaving roads, replacing bridges. We've also been able to pull down over $5 million in grant funding, which helps to leverage how much this community is receiving as a total benefit. I'm very glad you asked about that. Tremendously proud of the team's success.
And along with that, we have a citizens committee that is made up of just folks, from St. Lucie County, and they sit and watch where our money's going, making sure projects are getting done that we said we were going to do. Each of the local governments promised
that,
that they
yeah.
were going to make sure that everything that we said we were going to do, we're going to do. And so for those of you at home, if you go to www.slc.halfcent.com, you can find these reports, and you can print them out, or you can just save them on your laptop or your phone and review them. And I'll share with you, it shows the projects that have been completed, including water, stormwater projects, sidewalk projects, road widening, etc. I think you'll be really impressed with what you'll see in those reports.
Yeah, and imagine probably once we get through this election and then next year the board, whoever, the commission of the cities will get together, start talking about that process of going back out to the voters. Because I know the state also changed a lot of, when you can put referendums on the ballot, it has to be in the general and not the primary. And so I think we're looking at probably 2026 to go back out to the voter.
26.
At least. Yeah, well, no, I think we're talking about 26 to ask the voters to vote on that.
Yeah, that's right.
It would expire in 28, and that way there's, time, so there's not a gap in funding. So, and Patrick, I imagine you guys are already starting to work on the next 10-year list.
Yeah, thank you, Rick, and we actually are. So staff has been thinking about that with the board's support to be able to go back out to the voters. And just from a personal standpoint, I don't know of another funding source aimed directly at infrastructure that is paid partially by the visitors who come here. I think it's an incredibly important piece of information. We've already got a list of potential projects that, if approved by the board, would be the candidates for the future sales tax referendum. And we've got over 100 potential candidate projects on there. So the list of needs is growing just as our region is growing.
Yeah.
More people, more uses, more needs. So it only makes sense that this should be where we focus.
Well, this is where I'd like to just talk to the folks at home. Here's your opportunity. Whenever you sit at home and you have a problem with your local government and you're angry about it, you want to have a vote, you want to have a say-so. Here's the opportunity to actually have a voice and say so whether you want to have that half-cent sales tax reestablished. You have seen what the differences are with the new resurfacing, some of the widening, the sidewalks, the drainage. All those things are visible. There's something that's tangible for you. And if you feel so inclined and you have the power to make that happen, here's your opportunity in 2026 if it comes on the ballot.
And more than that, too, I know we're always looking for people to serve on boards and committees. The Citizens Oversight Committee for this, the Citizens Budget Committee. That's usually my go-to response on social media when people are upset. Like, well, sign up for our Citizens Academy, check that out, and see. Let you meet all the department directors one-on-one, and but then volunteer to serve on these committees and see. Ask the hard questions that it's easier to answer in a one-on-one setting than trying to explain on social media. Because going through the budget process, like Patrick talked about earlier, funding sources are designed for specific funding sources. And Commissioner, this when people see a nearly $800 million budget, you guys have plenty of money. Why are you not getting these stuff done? Well, half of that goes to the sheriff's office, or and then and then you've got you can't use bed tax, which has done well for the last few years. The tourist tax, you can't use that to pave roads, but through the sales tax, those visitors that come down are shopping and buying, but they're impacting our roads. They're impacting the waterways, and it's a way to capture that revenue from them.
Yeah, and we thought we were going to do about $9 million a year, and now we're doing like 13, 14, which is actually accelerating the projection of the projects. And so I think it's really, really an important note to have.
Yeah. Commissioner, anything else you want to mention about either the sales tax or just county in general as we're getting here kind of into the fiscal year? Or into a new fiscal year?
Well, we have just gone through the budget process and we have lowered the millage rate one more time, 5 years in a row. Over the last 20 years, we've lowered it over 10%. We've shown where we've been fiscally responsible, putting money where it's supposed to go, doing the right things. And we know that it's difficult. We are continuing to have these discussions with our state and federal government on insurance rates. I think that's an important issue for all of us, is that we need to have our elected leaders, above our pay grade, so to speak, at the state and federal level, to figure a way to manage the process. It ends up being that FEMA is the backstop whenever we have disasters, but maybe we can do something different, a different makeup of how insurances are backstopped to lower the rates because I can tell you while we went through the recession in 2005, 6, 7 to 8, because of the no income verification for mortgages, and we had 4,000 foreclosures a month. We may be seeing that same type of thing on the horizon with insurance rates. If insurance rates continue to go up, those folks that aren't able to pay for their mortgage because they have to have insurance, there's going to be a serious issue.
Yeah.
And so I know that I'm fighting tooth and nail to get the ear of our state and federal officials that we have to collectively come together and find an answer.
And there's, every year it sounds like there's more and more unfunded, we like to call them unfunded mandates that come down from the state or federal government. And we made some headway this year thanks to Representative Trabulsi with inmate medical, which again is one of those unfunded mandates. If somebody is in our jail and gets injured or hurt and has to go out for medical care outside the jail, we were paying sometimes 1,000% above what
26,000% on one case that we found.
Above what they would have paid if they had just walked in as an uninsured resident in this county. And so there's some savings there, but that
took over 12 years to get done, to find the right answer. And so when people say government moves
overnight
slowly.
Success,
Overnight success.
Yeah.
But it took a long time and multiple iterations of the administration and the board of county commissioners. But we're happy that we found the right folks to understand what was the right mechanism. Trying to do a statewide rule didn't get the steam, but being able to do a local bill is what it ended up being. We are standalone. St. Lucie County is the only county in the state that has this opportunity. I suspect that with our success, we're going to see other counties, move along.
And that's something I think, in the 20 years I've been with the county, our commissioners and even Florida Associated Counties have really fought for home rule, right? Yeah. You vote your local elected officials. There really isn't a blanket one size fits all for all 67 counties. Right. We have a coastal engineer, but it makes sense for us to have a coastal. It doesn't make sense for Henry County or some inland county to have a coastal engineer, So try not to force everything across the state board. I mean, in some.
Well, the interesting part is, years back, the legislature put it in the Constitution that home rule was an important issue, but it continues to be degraded year over year.
Yeah. Patrick, anything else you want to mention on Public Works as we wrap up? Folks have concerns. I know you all this year we're looking to have an outreach coordinator in your department to work with us and help us, get the word out into neighborhoods.
That's right. So we have an outreach coordinator. Actually starts Monday. So we're very excited to bring him aboard and help us tell the story out there. And going back to the surtax, I think with all the work that's being completed out there, if you drive by any of these projects, you'll notice some signs on the side of the road saying "Brought to you by the half-cent sales tax. Thank you, voters." I think we have a really compelling story to tell. Should this go back out on that November 2026 ballot, where we can demonstrate the value that we've added to our local economy and our local infrastructure. And going back to your FEMA point, we've been able to put over $3 million into bridge repairs this year out of that sales tax. What that does is not only does it harden our infrastructure, but it sets us up really well for, should we have a storm event, to be able to make a claim to FEMA and demonstrate that we've done the necessary maintenance, which if you don't do it, they will turn you down. They're not just stroking blank checks anymore. So I think it's imperative, it's important, and it's been an absolute game changer for Public Works. So appreciate the opportunity to talk about it.
Anytime. Commissioner, anything else you want to mention before we wrap up?
No, it's October. Halloween is here.
Yeah.
When you're out with your children, trick or treating. And I know you still go with yours.
No, they're all off of college now. I have to find some neighbor kids to take out so I can get candy.
But be sure to take a flashlight, be safe crossing the roads, and take precautions when you're out there.
And we've got some great events at the Fenn Center. There's a trunk or treat coming up, and even Fairwinds is doing a little night golf for juniors this year at the end of the month. Okay. So check our website for that. It should be fun. So.
Excellent.
All right. Well, thank you both for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break, and we're checking with some public work projects, and we'll be right back to wrap up the show.
The Okeechobee Road Sewer Force Main and Water Main project is set to begin. The project includes installation of a 12-inch sewer force main and a 16-inch water main along Okeechobee Road between South Header Canal Road and Midway Road. As part of a broader plan, it will bring enhanced water and wastewater services to residents, reduce groundwater contamination by eliminating the need for septic tanks, and eliminate costs related to septic tank systems for residents. The mission of the St. Lucie County Utilities Division is to distribute high-quality drinking water, provide reliable sewer service, and offer sustainable water disposal options while delivering exceptional customer service. For more information, visit stlucieco.gov.
We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Inside St. Lucie, and I hope you'll tune in again next month. If you have topics or subjects you'd like to see covered here on the program relating to St. Lucie County government, give us a call at 772-462-1791 or send us an email at pio@stlucieco.org. And if you'd like to see previously aired episodes of this or other SLC TV programs, you can check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/stluciegov. I'm Eric Gill, for myself and the staff. Thanks for watching.